What's good, YouTube? I'm back with the video. I'm back with um 15 wild animals that save humans' lives. Let's see how I do. Let's see what's on this video. It might be some the most dangerous animals saving humans' lives, something like that. Like right now, so it's a lion. Like on the thumbnails, lion. They the most dangerous animals in the zoo right now. So let's see. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, scores Mondo.pt2. Let's get it, man. Already finished started. Stay tuned for next video. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below. Anything. I got some right here. I ain't even know. What the heck? Oh, still got sleep in my eye. It's gone.
Wild animals hate humans. Most
So
do, and we kind of deserve it.
You have to have that trusting relationship.
But some of them just want to survive and thrive as
Deserve
they do.
it.
And frankly, we should be more graceful.
Right.
From two lions that took an immediate liking to a young girl to a sea lion that wanted to give a suicidal man one more chance. Here are 15 wild animals that saved human lives.
That would be interesting.
Number 15.
Still.
Girls saved by lions. From an early age, we're conditioned to think of lions as a special type of superhuman killing machine, capable of causing a lot of damage to our puny human bodies. But if this story is anything to go by, maybe they're not quite as
lot of
terrifying as we
damage.
think. Note,
Never
they
been better
are.
on,
In
no
2005,
possible
a
damage.
12-year-old Ethiopian girl was abducted by 4 men while walking home from school. Just a week later, the police managed to track them down, as they were about to escape
I'm
with
tripping
her.
on the
But
glass
there was a
like
problem.
that.
The abductors happened
That's
to
that
come
little line.
face to face with 3 African lions
tripping
that
here.
promptly chased them off, leaving the girl behind. While this would usually be a pretty tragic ending to the story, the lions really didn't harm the girl at all. They stayed with her through the ordeal, standing guard and protecting her until the police eventually found her. The lions then headed back into the wild, apparently satisfied with their good deed. African media called the incident a miracle of God, and it's definitely worthy of the title. Lions don't usually behave like this, which only makes it more incredible. Before we go
It's
on,
well
like
where
this
they
video,
behave
smash
like
the
that, though.
subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number
They
14.
keep the man
Sea
in
lion rescue.
Acts. It's simple.
We
Free
never know
everything.
what's going on in the heads of others, which is why it's so important to check in with people and protect our own mental health. But don't worry, because this is a heartwarming and uplifting story about the power of nature. In 2000, Kevin Hines had reached rock bottom, suffering from bipolar disorder and depression. He felt his life was spiraling out of control. Rather than go on living an unpleasant existence, he decided to just end it all. Soon after, Hines was standing on the Golden Gate Bridge and took that big leap into the unknown. Only Hines
It was a story like this. A man had a speech about it. I think it was a cop. It was that one cop that was standing out there for like an hour and like some minutes to save his life. That was crazy. Everybody wanted to commit suicide on that bridge. Like, I've never been on one. I think it's like somewhere out of range far. I don't know, but still. Like, people really be jumping, really
didn't
trying to be jumping
die.
off of there.
Upon landing,
So,
Hines painfully shattered 3 vertebrae and realized he had made a mistake. He didn't want to die. Thankfully, a nearby sea lion didn't want him to die either, and kept pushing him up above the water's surface until the Coast Guard eventually arrived to collect him. Hines would later say that this sea lion saved his life. Hines began a program designed to help him deal with his depression,
See, I
and had
saved
since
him.
used his story and experiences to inspire others, and urge those struggling with mental health struggles to talk about it. Number 13. Whale saves woman. Marine biologists see a whole lot of stuff out there in
whale?
the big underwater world. But
Hey, but
there's
I
a lot
wouldn't
of
be
stuff
surprised
they
if a
don't
shark
see,
saved somebody.
like the megalodon or dolphins playing poker, that kind of thing. And apparently it's near unheard of to see whales protecting humans. While on a research expedition
whale
in
can
the
swallow you
Cook
whole.
Islands, marine biologist Nan Hauser was a little bit confused by what seemed like a very pushy humpback whale. While Hauser assumed that the whale was just curious about what she was doing, she quickly became aware that something was going on. Maybe the whale was angry at her, or perhaps it was just scared. Well, actually it was a whole other thing. Hauser quickly realized that this 50,000-pound animal was not really interested in what she was doing at all. The whale was protecting her from a tiger shark. Underwater solidarity. Hauser has gone on the record to claim that this could be the first recorded
that's how I
case
do
of a
oceans,
humpback
man.
whale protecting a
Y'all
human.
never
Even if
see
that's not the
me,
case,
my
it's a
black
pretty
self
fantastic
in
story.
that ocean.
Number 12.
In the ocean, I don't care what it is.
Given how often humans hunt them,
I don't
it
really like
seems
swimming
kind
in
of
lakes.
ridiculous to even suggest that a deer would consider protecting or saving a human life. But we live in a ridiculous world, and that actually did happen. After attending a college
Ridiculous
party,
world.
a Miami student found herself roaming around outside of the condo on her own. Just moments later, a strange man approached, grabbing her purse strap and using it to choke her. But that's when nature decided to take action. Seemingly out of nowhere, a deer jumped up and scared the attacker, who quickly fled into an open field,
reindeers.
chased by this deer. Considering just how shy deer can be, this is a pretty incredible encounter. Although, again, given how often deer have been chased and killed by human hunters, perhaps it's not so surprising that a deer would want to fight that kind of thing happening to others. It's rare that deer even approach humans in the wild, let
I don't
alone
see a
take
deer
stand
killing
to
nobody.
protect them.
Deer
Clearly,
don't kill
this deer
people.
had a strong sense of moral empathy
They were all
for the
animals,
poor
but they don't
woman
kill
that
people.
was suffering, and thank goodness it did. Number 11. Dolphins versus sharks. If you ever have the misfortune of getting attacked by sharks, chances are you're not going to make it out of there.
I will never.
Sorry about that. But there's always hope, and this story is full of hope. If you do
It's a
get attacked by
98%
sharks,
chance we ain't gonna
pray
make it out of
for
here.
dolphins. In 2016, Todd Endress was attacked by a great white shark while surfing in California, and while the shark's first bite only landed on his
See?
surfboard, the predator quickly corrected his mistake
Out of
and
the water.
attacked again, this time landing some good bites on his body. But when the shark went in for a third attack, nature staged an intervention. As Todd desperately tried to fight the shark off, a pod of dolphins arrived to help out, surrounding and protecting him from any further attacks as he began swimming back to
Oh,
shore.
that
Thanks to
red.
these
Y'all see
dolphins,
that?
Todd was able to make it back to
Dang.
shore alive. Like most surfers, Todd's experience likely did nothing to dampen his love of surfing. In fact, most likely, he just went right back out there and did it again. But this just goes to show the power of nature, and also shows that you really want dolphins on your side. Number 10. Man saved by bear. More than any other animal, it seems we're continually hearing about humans that were mauled or killed by wild bears. But here, we're telling a different story. The bear is actually the hero in our story. Didn't see that one coming, eh? Oh, right. The title. In 2012, Robert
was a
Biggs
lucky
decided
one,
he'd
too.
make the
Bears
most of the
is
beautiful
like-
California sun and head out on a hike. But this hike was unlike
I
any
forgot what movie
other
I
he'd
seen.
ever taken.
Man fighting a
Somewhere
bear.
along the trail, he came across a mother bear and her family and just took a moment to appreciate the sight. But as he went to leave, something jumped on him from behind, knocking him to the ground. It was a mountain lion. Biggs's impulse was to hit the lion with his rock pick, but what truly saved his life had nothing to do with his tools. The bear grabbed the lion by the neck, prompting a fight between the animals that ultimately saved Biggs's life. Like most wilderness men, Biggs refused to
Oh,
go
he
to the
was real
doctor
lucky.
and instead
All these
just
people
poured
lucky.
some stuff on his wounded arm to disinfect it. Still, at least he had a great story to tell. Number 9. Gorilla Mama Saves Boy.
Yeah, that was,
While
that
we're
would
not
be a
going to
good
rehash
story.
any years-old debates,
Sees the gorillas. The crowd yell.
everybody remembers the story
I've seen
of
this video
Harambe,
plenty of
the
times.
17-year-old gorilla who was shot and killed when a 4-year-old fell into the gorilla pit at the Cincinnati Zoo. But few people know about a similar 1996 incident, albeit one with a
I know
much
he was
happier
injured.
ending. In 1996, a 3-year-old boy
He wasn't
accidentally
moving at
fell
all.
into the gorilla enclosure of Chicago's Brookfield Zoo. The almost 20 feet fall to the ground knocked the boy unconscious, distressing his mother and causing a whole lot of trouble for everybody. But thankfully, one female gorilla took matters into her own hands. With her infant on her back, the mother gorilla quickly checked that the boy was okay. Seeing that he was still breathing, she decided to sit beside him and guard him from the other gorillas until zoo officials were able to get down there and bring him up safely. The maternal instinct is strong in gorillas, who have often been recorded taking care of other animals' cubs. Without her protection, this boy may well have been seriously injured by the other gorillas, making this a little miracle. Number 8.
So how many girls is it?
Yes,
I'm
a
trying to
pig,
figure out.
the laziest of all the animals.
I only saw two.
That's
Probably was a
not
male one and a
strictly
female one that was
true.
saving him.
Lulu would return to the house to check on Joanne.
But generally speaking, how many pigs have you ever heard of that saved people's lives? Exactly. They're not well known for being big life-saving animals.
pigs save
While on
people?
vacation in Pennsylvania, Joanne
Right.
suffered a pretty brutal heart attack.
That's a big
Thankfully,
surprise, huh?
she wasn't alone. She had a housebroken Vietnamese pot-bellied pig named Lulu with her. None of that was a typo, by the way.
Damn.
Thankfully, she
What did he
wasn't
say?
alone. She had a housebroken Vietnamese pot-bellied pig named Lulu with her. None of that was a typo, by the way. There really
You
are
say a
housebroken
pot-bellied
pigs.
pig,
Apparently,
man. A pig, I
Lulu
said
took a
pig.
look at
Pig.
Joanne and, after a moment of heartbreaking crying, took action. This pig pushed open the gate to get to the nearby road, where she would wait for an oncoming car.
Well, how you
walk
get
to the
outside,
road,
though?
and
This
lay
don't
down
add up.
before the approaching vehicle. If the vehicle didn't stop, Lulu would go back in to check on Joanne before trying again. Eventually, she got someone to stop, and after bringing the motorist to Joanne, Lassie style, he called the paramedics, and Joanne's life was saved. Stories like this are pretty common with dogs, but I don't think anybody has ever heard of a pig saving someone's
what's the
life
thing
in
about it?
this
But how you
way.
get inside?
Lulu was clearly a special
She was,
and
like,
very
not
empathetic
conscious.
pig, and now I feel terrible for implying pigs were
That's a
lazy.
big pig.
Shame on me. Number 7.
Yeah, bigger than
The
that.
tsunami elephant. Elephants have a well-earned reputation as one of the wisest and generally kindest animals out in the animal kingdom. And this is a
It's
pretty
rare
good
for
thing.
elephant
When
to
you're in the middle of
attack
a natural
you.
disaster, it's always good to have a wise animal with you. In 2000,
Probably I'll never see on here is probably a crocodile or alligator saving nobody. Cause they attack both everything. I don't know, but if they see a lion attacking, a crocodile attack both of them. You never know. I say a lion. A crocodile will
8-year-old
attack
Amber
both of
Owen
them.
and
See?
her family were enjoying a pleasant holiday in Phuket, Thailand. Then, everything got very scary. One morning, Amber and her family made a visit to Ning Nong, a popular elephant that Amber also got the chance to ride. But something was strange. Seemingly out of nowhere, Ning Nong fled with Amber on her back. Her family were terrified, but then it all made sense. A major tsunami struck almost immediately, meaning the elephant felt it was coming and hurried away before the waves came. For days,
I heard
the
this story
survivors
before.
did not see one another until Amber was eventually located in an elephant camp nearby. While it was undoubtedly a terrifying experience for all involved, Ning Nong's quick thinking may actually have saved the young girl's life. Soon after the incident, Ning Nong was moved to an elephant camp,
The elephant
where she is
died
apparently very beloved.
after-
Number 6. Tiger
baby
versus
one.
leopard. It's the ultimate fight of the predators. Tiger versus leopard. With a little bit of lion thrown in there for good measure. But we're going to make this really interesting, and mention that the whole reason the leopard and tiger were fighting, a human life. Eduardo Cirio made a pretty grave error while he was cuddling up to some cute
They
little
combined
white
together?
lions,
Like-
breaking the most important rule of being around big cats. Don't ever turn your back to them. Behind him, a leopard can be seen sprinting in his direction, preparing to attack. And it would have, were it not for one ultra-fast tiger that just about managed to prevent the bloodbath before it
Oh.
happened. Cirio even takes a moment to thank the tiger for saving his life. Although it's entirely possible that the tiger just felt like fighting something. Who knows? What we can be sure of is that Cirio will never turn his back on a big cat again. These are opportunistic predators, and will leap at any opportunity to cause some harm. Don't ever turn your back on them. Number 5. Beluga whale saves diver. Considering just how huge whales are, it's
It was
surprising
like
that they're
6 of
generally so
them.
peaceful
First one
and
turned his
kind
back.
towards us humans. Especially when we're
can't
in
focus on
danger
all 6
or
of them
out
in
of our
front of
depth,
him.
which, again, is pretty often. We're not the smartest creatures on the planet, right?
thought it was more
In
than 6.
2009, diver Gang Yun signed up for a free diving competition at the Polar Bear Land Aquarium in Harbin, China. The prize, In question was the opportunity to train whales at the facility. No doubt a big get for anybody that has a passing interest in marine wildlife. But things quickly
feel like
spun
it's
out
hard
of
to train
control
whales,
when the
though.
freezing water
Whales,
gave Yun
that's
a
some
cramp
whales.
in her leg,
Whales.
leaving her unable to swim to safety. As she began panicking in the water, one of the 2 beluga whales in the tank, Mila, noticed her distress and quickly came to the rescue.
He moved towards her and helped her to the surface.
Grabbing the diver's leg in her mouth, Mila forcefully propelled Yun to the surface, saving her life in the process. There have been many recorded incidents of whales
That's like
saving human
15
lives
feet.
out in the open, but for one to do it in a captive
thought she was a
environment
fish.
like this is truly rare. It truly shows the intelligence and empathy that this animal holds. Number 4. Elephant rescues human. I doubt there are many, if any, humans in the world that don't like elephants. They're incredible, graceful, and very resourceful animals, and they seem to really enjoy the presence and company of humans. The good ones, I mean.
He was on
not
the
the
big words,
hunters.
see?
At the Elephant Nature Park in Thailand, a young elephant named Kam La formed a deep and loving bond with a staffer named Derek. Having come from a life of misery and abuse, Kam La finally found herself in a loving and respectful home, one that cared for her well-being. And Derek was a big part of making that happen. That bond can be seen in this clip. As Kamla leaps into action when she believes Derek is drowning or in danger. While
Is he
in the
moving
water,
back from the
as
outfit?
Derek is
I don't
carried along
get
by the
it.
current,
Feel me? I
Kamla
don't
rushes
get it.
over, wrapping her trunk around his arm and helping him reach the shore safely. She's the kind of friend we all wish we had. It's clear that Kamla would do anything for her friend, and those at the Elephant Nature Park have described how she will drop everything if he calls her name. This is probably one of the clearest examples of what a bit of kindness towards an animal can do. Number 3. Pit bull saves its owner. Pit bulls are not really known for their gentle
Okay,
and
this is
kind
normal.
temperaments, but that's definitely not something that should be said about the entire breed.
No, it
In
depends how they
fact,
train.
here's one situation in which the pit bull's
Pit bulls
unpredictability
train
turned
different,
out to
so-
be a real blessing. In 2018, a Brooklyn woman's day took a
Pit
turn
bulls
for
are, like,
the
real
worse when she
protective,
dared
too.
to answer the door in her own home. On her
Underrated
doorstep, an
dogs.
unfamiliar man punched her in the face for no apparent reason whatsoever. Luckily, the woman's dog, a 5
I remember I was play fighting with my brother. We had a pit bull at my old house.
month-old pit bull broke
Or
out of his
whatever.
cage and begun sprinting towards the guy. As any of us would, the
The
assailant
dog bit
quickly
me.
went running,
We were
leaving
play
police
fighting.
to somehow
The dog
get
bit
on
me.
his
I think it
trail.
was a
The
pit
story
bull.
soon went viral, with the owner praising her protective pup for scaring the guy off before he could inflict more harm upon her, and potentially her grandson. This is a scary situation that could easily have been far
Man,
worse.
no dog
As it
now.
is, the woman was bruised and
dog bit me
shaken,
in my
but
face,
there was no
but it was
long-term
just like
damage.
a little
Were it
nip
not for
bit.
her dog,
I got
who
bit by a
knows
dog
where
before.
this could have ended. Number 2. The bomb-sniffing dog. When
The
it comes
dogs
to
don't like
saving
people
lives,
fight.
there may be no animal more valuable than the bomb-sniffing dog. These animals are trained so well and so intensely that they're able to sniff out a potentially dangerous situation from a distance. It almost seems pointless to single out one of these dogs when all of them do so much important and crucial work in our modern, dangerous world. But Trio exemplifies everything that makes these animals so great. Trio worked with the UK military over 5 years and proved himself a worthy asset to the team when he sniffed out 2 hidden bombs in Helmand province, possibly saving many lives in the process.
We'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Trio on its
Dogs
tremendous
can
achievement.
save people.
His work was considered to be so
I don't know why
impressive
people don't
and
like
so
dogs.
important that he was granted
Well,
the
they
Bacon
attack my
Medal
dogs, of
Award,
course,
the
but
British animal equivalent.
having a dog is like, I feel like having a dog nowadays can save people. Like, so many break-ins, people houses and stuff.
To the United States
Dog can save,
Medal of
like, a
Honor.
lot of
He
things.
probably didn't know what it was, but boy did
Especially,
he
like, at
deserve
least
it.
2 dogs.
Most dogs will live their lives without having
want
a
a pit bull, I
job
want a
or
Rottweiler,
career,
man.
but those that make a life for themselves in the military deserve not just a chest rub and reminders that they're a good boy, but our respect. For all we know, they may have saved our lives. Number 1. Bear in the Woods.
They mad me.
From a very young
upload
age,
this.
kids are told all manner of stories about friendly bears and singing bears and bears that wear clothes. So it's really no surprise at all that children don't
Bears can
understand the
swim?
dangers of bears. They even have teddy bears, which are the most dangerous of all. When 3-year-old Cassie Hathaway wandered into the woods near a relative's house, his parents were distraught. Their beautiful child had
tripping.
vanished into thin
He
air
bold.
without
He
so
bold
much
for
as a
that. I
goodbye
don't even want
or
to
a
know
reason
woods,
for
see?
his disappearance. The incident became such a big deal
Look at
that the
that.
media
Damn,
attention
dark.
prompted a manhunt across North Carolina, resulting in hundreds of
That little
searchers
flashlight ain't
exploring
working.
every acre of land from one side of the state to
Probably
the
need
other.
another
3
100,
days after
200,
his
make it
initial
200.
disappearance, a neighbor found Casey in the woods, tangled up in a bush. When his mom asked where he'd been, Casey claimed a bear was looking after him while he was lost. Now, this could be the product of a young child's imagination, but we've seen time and time again that sometimes animals behave very differently
So a bear tangled him up in a bush?
than we'd expect. So maybe we'll just never know the
Oh,
truth
man.
behind Casey's disappearance. What do you
Sounded like
think?
it was a
Did a bear
kidnapper.
protect this boy?
Somebody was
Which
in
of
there.
these human-saving animals surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments.
I don't know. The one that surprised me the most. What was it? The 2 lions. The 2 lions that saved that one girl. But this is the end of the video. Find me on Instagram, scores. I'm out.pt2. Let's get into the next video, man. Stay tuned for the next one. We out. Stay tuned. Never gonna quit. Never gonna stop. Never will. Never am. So let's get it.